Welcome to the Gentleman Ultras paper review. I am Richard Hall and we're just going to run through today's papers. In case anyone's wondering, this is the Venezia shirt from this season, home and away, both purchased for one real reason. One, it's a beautiful place to watch football, which I'm privileged to do only once, and it will be again after lockdown. And secondly, Sebastiano Esposito, a certain Italian favourite of mine, a young player from Inter who scored his goal on the weekend, which was their first one for Venezia, a very promising talent. Let's get into the papers though, because that's a bit boring. So the first thing we probably expect has happened today is that it's all about Cesare Prandelli. Straight away, Cesare shadowing Cesare Sport. It talks about his letter that we all probably saw yesterday, where if you didn't know that he'd resigned from Fiorentina in a very, very elegant way, writing a letter saying that he feels that football's bypassed him almost and that he's tried his best to somewhere where his heart's very dear in Florence, and yet not just his coaching career in Florence, but everything else, it could all end here, he says. The letter said, particularly quote was, "It's no longer my world." The Viola have recalled Beppe Inchini. Thoughts are there. Please tweet us, comment on the links in YouTube, tell us what you think of that, because it's not something that many Fiorentina fans will probably be getting up this morning and breaking open the champagne on. Corriere Sport 2, Bianca Prandelli leaves, the Viola going to Aquini, Cesare again, too much stress, goodbye to football. Finally in Tutor Sport, they lead again. You can probably see, if I don't know my coffee over there, they went with him on the headlines as well. Questo è uno uomo, so bless him. I mean, this man, why left football? So there we are with Prandelli. I mean, it looks like he's done. It's a shame. There should be some tributes to him coming soon. I mean, he gave a lot to Italian football national team, especially Fiorentina, and it's a shame that he'll be missed. But I also, on a personal note, think that it's a good idea that if someone's feeling that stress and they feel that their occupation or their job has put them by, and let's not pretend he's not got the means to retire. Good luck to him in the future in whatever he does. Now, an interesting one here and it's only really in Gazzetta dello Sport, if you can see, about Gigi Donnarumma. Now, the interesting thing here, it says Gigi on the way out. Milan and Donnarumma risk. There's been an offer put on the table from Milan of $8 million a year to keep him at San Siro, but Mino Raiola, as always, has been silent on the renewal. It says time's running out, and it also, Gazzetta makes a few ideas. Points a few suggestions, should we say, on replacements. Golin from Atalanta is one. And Juan Musso, who Inter, of course, are also tracking, and he's been heavily linked to the Nerazzurri, so that could be quite an interesting battle if it happens. So those are the two that really want to replace him. Now, the interesting thing there is, as I said, it didn't feature in any of the other papers very much, and especially didn't make the headlines. It's odd that it normally makes the headlines in Gazzetta and wouldn't really have too much traction anywhere else, which basically it does indicate that possibly, and just possibly, it is a situation where we're going to see Donnarumma really run Milan ragged on this contract deal and probably end up staying. Let's be honest about that. Now, to the Corriere dello Sport, this is an interesting one as well. It says here, revolution on the benches, all change. Now, the interesting thing here, it states that Juventus, with Andrea Pirlo, of course, who we know under the pressure, Napoli with Gattuso, who's been up and down this season, but ultimately looks like he can finish well, one of the best squads in the division. Fonseca, you either stand here or here, it seems, at the moment with Fonseca. Personally, I enjoy watching his sides, but he's under pressure. This is the one I don't really understand, is Simone Inzaghi's Lazio. I mean, that guy and what he's done with the resources he has, he's next to near brilliant. And Fiorentina, as we've just spoken about, all look like their coaches could go. And these are the replacements, it says. Allegri, of course, could go back to Fiorentina. Quite interesting to see him at Napoli or Roma, by the way. Fonseca, of course, where's he going to go? Will he stay in Italy if that happens? Gattuso, Inzaghi, Sarri and Spalletti. Are they going to start crisscrossing around clubs? Nice list there, especially the fact of Spalletti's link to Juventus, which I think would just be bizarre, but actually could quite steady the ship. We saw that Inter, he did an incredible job. And actually, with the stepping stone for what Conte's doing, just like Mancini was almost a stepping stone for Mourinho in some respects. So that could be interesting. Lots of different clubs and different areas there. Now, I need a coffee for this one. TV rights. Again, TV rights. Mio Dio. Okay. TV rights stall again. Another vote on Friday. That is in the Corriere dello Sport. It's a frustration, I think, for everyone involved, or even mildly involved with Italian football. Look, it says Lega prisoners of various vetoes. I like that. I think it's very true. There are 11 clubs in favour of Dan's proposal, 8 abstain. They need 14 votes to assess the right. Race against time on Monday. The auction expires, and that's a problem. Now, obviously, they're looking at Sky Italia and Dan's. Now, Dan's are going to put a product in front of the Italian public that will be streamed pretty much, a Netflix type approach. People will need the internet connection, etc. And you look at it, and at first point, you can understand you can understand the argument that some clubs will say, well, hold on a second, in Calabria or Perugia, has everyone got the ability to do this? And why don't we keep it with Sky Sport Italia, for instance? Well, the money's massively different, and Italy need to market this product right. Lega Serie A do not market Serie A in a good way. Dan's will be crisp, it will be clean, and yes, it'll have to be streamed. Will it force the infrastructure of the local economies, local regions, to have to push for those internet connections to be able to do that? Maybe, I don't know, but it should do, and that's the key. So let's see. So I think that hopefully they will do that, but it is really important that Italy get this sorted, because the TV rights is part of a massive problem in Italy with the way they market Serie A, and this goes into why you can talk about stadiums, you can talk about the Italian clubs in Europe. There's a lot to talk about on this topic, not to do now, but yeah, there we go. So finally, we'll just have a quick look at Italy, the Azzurri. It's quite interesting that Locatelli will lead the under-21s, the Arazzini, against the Czechs this week, and we're also looking to see how Mancini lines up. Everyone talking about this Mancini, young Italy is worth much more, and it says there's a treasure chest of 400 million there of talent for Mancini to look at, from Chiesa to Barella to Ken. Mancini can count in this group, and it's quite interesting here just to see how excited Italy actually are about the national team, and that's nice to see. The Euros kick off. Go Italy, says Tutto Sports. Quite an interesting one there, saying a debut against Czech Republic, and Nicoletto looks to Tonali and Crotone, so that could be interesting too. So that's the paper round from me, Richard Hall. We'll be back tomorrow. So for me, it's ciao for now.